Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Trendz Travel in the Level 4 lockdown. Now, what the Level 4 lockdown does mean is that some businesses have been allowed to go back to work, and that includes show business. And Puleng takes us behind the scenes with Sia van der Laan as we find out how they're doing business amid COVID-19.
Ever wondered what your favorite soapy would be like if there were no damsels in distress waiting to be rescued by a male protagonist whose sole purpose in life is to be a hero and waltz into the sunset with their long-lost love? No need to wonder, because COVID-19 is reintroducing the world to a whole new way of making television drama. Those love scenes with long gazes of love at close proximity and warm embraces are currently written off, literally. What are we not going to be able to see anymore when we're watching Sia van der Laan? So, and how far apart are people going to be now? And how do you place them to still ensure that even though they're on the same floor, they're still keeping a distance?
Yeah, you know what? I've been actually going through some of the footage that we've been taking, and it seems so natural. It's just general scenes of people talking and going through the storyline. It doesn't even seem unnatural, but they are now less on set or in a scene. Like, we could easily have had about 6 people in a scene. Now we have a maximum maybe of 4. And if it's an apartment or big space, they are well spaced according to the requirements of, the social distancing.
Most television production sets only operate with minimum number of headcount of cast and crew. The number of hours has also been reduced in order to minimize social interaction. So I had to comply and be creative with how I do my work. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you world-renowned director Neo M. Matsunyane. I'm well.
Thank you so much, and thanks, and welcome to our little heaven here.
We're meeting under these circumstances here, the masks and the face shields. What's it like working during COVID-19?
It has changed how we also make and write television, because now all those intimate scenes where people used to hug or touch each other, those are not allowed anymore. But we are also finding creative ways of saying, let's not hug. So instead of saying we can't hug, we include it in the dialogue. Say, don't touch me now, perhaps I'm not in a very good mood. So it's very nice to see that there are creative ways of trying to get around it. But at the same time, it's very difficult to show affection, because as a people, we're very tactile, we're very touchy. So we need to show new ways of showing affection without having to touch each other.
So the first time on set with the forced distances and the script looking a little bit different, how did you adjust and make sure that you still deliver?
Fortunately, because it's a team effort, we're constantly reminding each other. Everybody's always checking on themselves and each other. So it's a little bit of a challenge at first, and one gets a bit nervous. I know I was extremely anxious when I started out, but because everybody is in on it, it becomes easier. And sometimes when you forget something, then your coworker will remind you, oh, by the way, you're standing too close.
The makeup rooms have always been the actors' favorite space, but not anymore, as the department has had to only accommodate few people in these glam rooms.
We are only allowed 4 people in the makeup room at any given time. So that's basically somebody, 2 artists and 1 makeup artist and 1 hairdresser. Usually it's quite a hustle bustle in the makeup room, but we had to put these safety measures into place to keep people from, possibly infecting each other. The less people obviously in a room, the lesser the chance for infections.
The limitation of numbers of people on set has inspired other creative ways to still achieve certain scenes that require extras on set. Since there are no extras, who are the extras?
That's anybody who had aspirations of being on screen. So we've got our production scheduler, we've got our production manager, we've got our receptionists, we've got probably our catering, some of our facilities staff, Sasani. If they need to be roped in, they'll be there. Look, it's patrons. They're patrons at coffee shops, at malls. So it'll look natural.
Konstantin Stanislavski once said, "There are no small roles, only small actors." With that in mind, I marched into set and put my acting chops to work, even if for a brief moment on the periphery. The best part about being on set is the moments between scenes where actors and crew would catch up. Due to COVID-19, lunch is served on the go.
So people will come, they will sanitize their hands. After sanitizing, they will go to their main course, select what they have. We've got 3 items. In the past, everybody chose what they wanted. It was just selecting. But now we pre-packed and it's all labeled.
While tables here remain empty and socialization isn't as it was before, you can be sure that your favorite soap stars are still keeping their spirits up and working during these newfound ways to keep you at home and entertained. After all, the show must go on.
Now, as I said earlier, we are on level 4 lockdown, which means that some restrictions have been eased, but not this one. It is compulsory to always wear a face mask in public. And as you can see, I'm wearing mine, so I hope you're wearing yours, because what it essentially means is that I look after you and you look after me, and that way we both remain safe. We will be back with more of Trendz Travel right after this very short break. Welcome back to Trendz Travel. Now, as you know, we're still not allowed to travel, but we'll still be taking you places as Nadia explores some of the most hidden locations throughout the continent of Africa. Enjoy.
It is the world's second largest continent by size, popular for its wildlife and cultural diversity. Africa, the motherland as it is fondly known, is a favorite travel destination offering travelers a unique experience. It is fact that a few countries on the continent have not benefited from tourism. Civil wars, famine, and other social injustices have played a negative role in the hospitality sector. But the good outweighs the bad. The continent has a lot of popular places that tourists flock to for their annual vacations. And then there's those spots that only insiders know of. Imagine chocolate, fish, man-made canoes, lots of greenery and the beach. That's Sao Tome and Principe in West Africa. It is an archipelago of tropical islands which are renowned for their volcanic landscapes. There's a lot of holiday resorts along the beach or in the jungle depending on your preferences. Also up north of Africa is Tunisia. What you're guaranteed is stunning beaches, breathtaking views, and lots of shopping. The country ties what you may call ancient Africa and New Africa together very well. Tunisia was a Roman colony, and the ancient architecture is still intact in most parts of the country, arguably better than the ruins in Italy. The ruins are a big part of tourism in the country, visited by tourists for a fraction of the price compared to the European country. Ever heard of the Pink Lake? Well, there are 29 such lakes discovered around the world to date, and one of them lies north of the Cape Verde Peninsula of Senegal. The lake's pink water is caused by a type of algae especially found in sea salt fields. Locals spend hours each day mining in the lake. You can pack your swimsuit because swimming is completely safe. Malawi, nicknamed the warm heart of Africa because of the friendliness of the people. Although landlocked by Mozambique, Tanzania, and Zambia, this country is not short of beaches. An inland sea of fresh water is the magnificent Lake Malawi, offering lovely scenery with backdrops of mountains. It extends more than 600 kilometers from north to south, stretching up to 80 kilometers wide, and in some sections, the lake is over 700 meters deep. The wildlife is spectacular to watch, or you can go mingle with the locals at their colorful ceremonies. Salone, or Sierra Leone as you would know it, situated in West Africa. An Ebola outbreak years ago, followed by an economic crash, affected the country's tourism. As a result, Sierra Leone was least visited. But that did not take away from the natural beauty. This tropical country with rainforests and gorgeous beaches has a lot to offer. The Banana Islands are recommended especially for divers, or you can venture into the capital city, Freetown, a bustling economic hub with a large market where you can learn the culture of the people. Now, let's get to the exotic islands. Nope, not Mauritius, but Salary Bay, a remote paradise on the southern coast of Madagascar, a 4-hour drive on a truck road from the city center. What makes this island so beautiful is that the coast is fringed by a Great Barrier Reef that stretches over 450 kilometers and is remarkably the 5th biggest in the world. Our continent and its people are rich with culture, dimension, and uncommon, undiscovered beauty.
May is Africa Month all month long, and as such we'll be celebrating all things African, from food, cuisine, and especially fashion, as Njibulo shows us some of the latest African prints.
The month of May celebrates Africa, and fashion in the motherland is nothing if not vibrant and full of color. Trendz Travel caught up with some of the best and influential African designers, Amen Interior Fashion and Andiswa Apparel, to talk about what sets them apart from other African designers. Our first stop was here, where we had a chat with 2 fashion designers, responsible for creating daring ladies and men's clothing. The duo is based in Johannesburg and have been in the fashion industry for the past 6 years. And this is what makes their brand unique.
Sure. Amen. Amen. Can I get an amen? No, it's honestly a fun brand that takes inspiration from wherever we are, where we live in Johannesburg, and so we take a lot of inspiration from the city.
It's a daring brand. It's a brand that looks at African culture, Johannesburg culture, youth culture, and I think it's just an exciting brand to watch out for.
Their latest collection was inspired by the unseen, unheard of members of society and the streets of Johannesburg, which are filled with the unemployment and vagabonds.
The print was based around Hungry Boy, Hungry Designer. It's based on all these boards that we see in Joburg streets, these guys holding up the boards clean, and it was also a plea to the South African market in terms of supporting local. Designers are hungry. Our collection, it was, you can see blankets, what the guys use on the side of the road was transformed into pieces. You can see the print, the monochrome print, also with a pop of color. I think it's a fun, exciting print.
Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus restriction, Amen Interior Fashion couldn't showcase their latest Spring-Summer 2021 collection at the Africa Fashion International, but I had the privilege to try out some of their pieces.
Well, we're gonna put you in one of the prints, so we're gonna fire one of our mannequins, and you're gonna be the new mannequin.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to choose a print that matches the shorts, so you have a one print situation happening.
Yeah. So now you've got the more chilled element of the look, and then you can put on a jacket if it gets wintry. Yeah.
Right.
I think that looks spectacular. So now we're switching up his look from daytime to nighttime.
Our next collection is that of fashion designer Andiswa Siholane of Andiswa Apparel. A first-time AFI 2020 showcaser, this designer specializes in ladies' wear. We were treated to a special showcase of exciting print from her latest Spring-Summer 2021 collection.
So my silhouette is very feminine, very 1920s type of vibe. I like the top fitted and then the bottom flared. It basically accommodates all women, all shapes. Because if you've got, if you have no bum, for instance, a flared dress like this would give you that illusion of a bum. If you have a bum, it even accentuates it even nicer. And then also then the waist is very small, so it gives you that that illusion of a small waist and a tiny top, which I think most of us African women like. So if you look at this piece, which you can wear as just this dress as it is, for a cocktail day, evening, whatever, and then and then should you want to wear the very same dress to church, if you're still very conservative like some of us, you can just put on this tiny little jacket over it, which this jacket you can also wear with pants or whatever you want to wear it with. So I like to make my clothes easy to wear, fun to wear, and you can actually take the pieces apart and wear it with something else. Like if you look at what I'm wearing now, I'm wearing this top with jeans, but you can even put on a pencil skirt when you're going to church, when you're going to work.
African fashion has become such a global hit, with designers such as Laduma, Saibo Bokar, and Kahindu paving the way for other African designers by showcasing unique prints and colors.
We would love to know what you guys are getting up to in quarantine for Africa Month, whether it be your favorite African musician, your favorite African dish, or your favorite African piece of clothing. Why not let us know on Instagram or on Twitter? That's on Trends on SABC using the hashtag SABC News. With the onset of COVID-19 and the national lockdown, gatherings of 50 or more have become prohibited, and working from home and virtual meetings are becoming the norm. Well, what about things like Miss South Africa? Well, we are right here to find out a little bit more about that, so why not come and join me. It's a brand new walk for the Miss South Africa hopefuls this year, as, in compliance with government's lockdown regulations currently in place, pageant organizers are taking the show online.
With COVID-19 and ensuring safety and socially conscious behaviour of not only us but of the contestants, from the audition process to the entry process, that will all happen virtually, which is going to be a nice new change. We were lucky enough to have started with the online entry process already last year, so we got that down pretty well, and now we're going to just take it to the next level. Instead of travelling and getting the girls to us or for live auditions, we'll be doing them virtually.
Going online is a win for audiences as well, with plenty of opportunities for the public to join in and interact with their potential favourites.
It's going to be a lot of public interaction, which is going to be quite nice, because for the first time the public are going to be involved with the young ladies from the beginning of their journey until the end. So we're really hoping that instead of taking this as a negative and people looking at it like, well, we want this real great live pageant and we want what we used to have, we want it to become more of an interaction with the public, and for people to really start to get to know who these young ladies are. There'll be voting, there'll be live content that you'll be able to engage with, workshops that you'll be able to engage with. So it won't just be the young ladies getting the experience. We're hoping to branch that out to really empower the rest of the country, and not just our lovely young finalists. We hope that it broadens that.
For the contestants or sisterhood that make up the lineup of the finalists, there has always been a camaraderie built with the activities they are privy to in the process of elimination. But this year, it all has a more conscious effort.
Well, I think we are still going to be doing those kind of things. I think that it's going to be a lot more, as I said, socially consciously based. So we'll entail a lot more around COVID, ensuring that people understand that we are doing our part and playing our part in society. So instead of maybe racing a car, we'd rather be handing out food packs and that kind of thing. So those kind of things will probably be happening.
But South Africans are used to the flamboyant fanfare that comes along with a live pageant, from the host to the choreographed dancing and live performances. So what will this year look like?
So I want to tell you, I really do want to tell you, but I can't yet. There is going to be some really exciting things. We're still going to have a lot of those moments that everybody tunes into a pageant to watch. It's just going to be a little bit different this year. And of course, the lack of a live audience is going to be challenging for us. We hope by August we can maybe have 50 people to support the girls, but we'll see. It's going to be completely different. It's going to be much more than a live show, I guess. There's going to be a lot of interaction with the public, as I said, constant interaction from a voting perspective, from really getting to know the girls, and little bits of what you have become used to from a pageant perspective, what you've become used to from a Miss South Africa perspective, but giving it a lot more heart. I mean, I think that's the bottom line. We're giving it more heart and more meaning. So it's going to be exciting.
And exciting is the name of the game, not forgetting it is the very first of its kind in the entire world.
We would be the first in the world to do this. I had a great chat the other day with about 15 countries' national directors. So we were on the phone with Chile and Mexico and France, and a bunch of us were chatting about what the climate looks like for us. A lot of pageant countries are taking the route where they rather going to push their pageant out. And we will be the first to go live with this show, which is really exciting for South Africa. From a pageantry perspective, we are #1 in the world, which is amazing. And that's really about our innovation and our skills and what we are developing here. So for me, it's the perfect timing to go out with something completely different, something completely new that nobody's going to have seen before.
However it stands, it seems that our ladies in waiting have always been prepared for an event like this, as their campaign unknowingly foretold of things to come.
When we put that campaign together, it was at the end of January that we came up with that creative. And a mask was around symbolizing being able to use your voice, being able to unmask yourself and use your voice as a woman. That was what the symbolic meaning was. And then COVID-19 hit, and a mask kind of became something a little bit different. I went back and forth with the production guys a few times. I took the mask away, I put it back. I took it away, I put it back. And then eventually made the decision, we've got to stick with this because it still has meaning to us. And, it's relevant. And who wouldn't want to wear that mask? Yeah. It's a great mask. So it was quite interesting that it happened that way.
And that's all we have for you in this week's edition of Trendz Travel. We would love to remind you that even though we are on level 4 of lockdown, that you should not throw caution to the wind. Still use all your precautionary measures, wear your face mask, use your hand sanitizers, and we'll see you again next week, same time, same place.